Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. You may be seated. It is good to have each and every one of you here this morning, in the East Room. I want to extend a special welcome to my acting education secretary, Dr. Gonzalez. Thank you very much, Doctor, for all you've done um, for us getting to this point today. And I am hoping, like I said, she's acting education secretary. I'm hoping that in the coming days we get Senate confirmation and get her fully appointed as education secretary. But she's doing a phenomenal job over at education. Again, thank you for joining us here this morning. We're gathered in this historic room to launch a new chapter in American education, one that returns our focus to the fundamentals that built the greatest nation on earth. For too long, our schools have been pulled in too many directions. Today, we say enough. It's time to get back to basics. Back to Basics is a $1.72 trillion investment over the next decade to strengthen our education from the ground up, with a special focus on suburban and working communities that have carried this country for generations, but too often been left behind. Here's what this plan will do. First, we're investing in our teachers, the heart of every classroom. I know I'm married to one. I've been for 30 years plus, and now she's an administrator. I know what education is about. But first, we're committing $520 billion to attract, retain, and support great educators. This includes the $500 million retention grants we announced just a few weeks ago, expanding loan forgiveness for teachers serving in high need areas, and new mentoring programs. Great teachers change lives, and we're going to keep them in our schools. And that is one of the problems that we're going to tackle under Back to Basics. Too many teachers come through the system, and it's a revolving door. We want to have teachers who make this their career. My wife has, like I said, 31 years, and now she's moved to administration. And I can tell you, I'm extremely proud of her for doing that. She's got quite a job ahead of her, and 100% support from me in doing this. But we've got to get teachers to commit. Uh, Back home in Texas, I go to church, go to Sunday school with my English teacher, my former English teacher in high school. And she told me just a few months ago, we were talking, and she told me that when she started in Dallas and moved down to the suburbs where we live. But when she moved there, there were three teachers that all got hired the same day. They all retired at the same time, and they spent 30 years in that district. Now, after she retired, she stayed very active uh, in school business. She ran for school board, eventually became the school board president. That's what we're looking for under this Back to Basics program. We want to have people who say, I want to teach. Too many teachers are getting into this profession under false presenses. They're thinking that it's a 7:45 to 3:15 job and I'm out of there and summer's off. That's all great. But they soon realize after they start uh, teaching that it's a full time job. It's nights, it's weekends, it's preparing tests, it's grading tests, it's buying extra supplies. This plan that we're introducing here today, this Back to Basics plan, is going to take care of a lot of what the problems are in our education system. I want to ensure that the best, America's best, are in our classrooms. And that's what we're going to do under Back to Basics. Secondly, we're fixing our aging school buildings. You know, right across, not too far from where I live back home in Texas, there is a school that used to be the old high school before they built the high school that I went to and graduated from. But it's been sitting abandoned for close to 6 years. It's used for elections, and it's also used in the front part of the school is used as a resource center. But 80% of this school sits abandoned. And meanwhile, across the town, across the city, at other campuses, we are cramming 50 students into a classroom. And my question is, why are we doing that? The money that we're going to have in Back to Basics, and actually, when we talk about schools, $480 billion will go to fix these classrooms up, open these classrooms up, and level the classrooms and level the students out across this country so everybody has an equal chance to succeed. 45 to 50 students per classroom does not work. And third, we're going to be refocusing on what actually works in the classroom. And I'm sure I've heard a lot about what works in a classroom and what doesn't work in the classroom. We're going to strengthen reading, math, and core skills in early grades while expanding access to advanced placement, dual enrollment, and career and technical education so every student has a pathway to success. In the fourth pillar of this program is this. We're putting suburban and working families first. When I was growing up, I started my school days in the Dallas schools. And some things had changed in those schools over the time. My parents made the decision to move me to a suburban school where I succeeded. And it seems like a lot of times the focus is not on the suburban schools, but on the major metropolitan schools. Under Back to Basics, the focus is going to be not only on the major metropolitan schools, but every school in this country. And fourth, like I said, we are putting suburban and working families first. We're going to do that. We are going to make sure that working families, they are a core part of this country. They make this country work. I'm not saying that other people in this country don't, but the blue collar American people in this country are the one that makes this country succeed. And we're going to make sure that they are successful. We're going to invest $300 billion targeted at the communities where most Americans live and raise their children, because strong schools are the foundation of strong neighborhoods and strong families. This isn't just another spending bill. I know over time, going back into the 1960s with President Johnson, you've heard president after president talk about reforming education. This is a real effort at doing that. Now, I know that President Bush, he had his education initiative, and this is what this is kind of modeled after. But he had some things changed this administration, and the focus seemed to get off of education. They did get a education plan passed, but let's rebuild on that too. Let's build on what they started and continue and to make our schools better than they've ever been. This is a promise that every child in America, no matter where they live, will have the tools they need to succeed. And we're going to see to that. Like I mentioned, we're going to continue what other presidents have started. We're going to continue, and I want to see this done all the way to fruition. So the teachers here today and across our country and that are enjoying, I know, a much needed summer break, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your work matters more than you know. To the parents and students, we hear you and we see you. We are delivering. This is Back to Basics. This is how we build a stronger and more prosperous America, one classroom at a time. And I'm going to make this commitment to you that education will take a forefront under this administration. That's why we are investing the money that we are investing in this. No, I don't believe no other president, and I may be wrong in this, I don't think no other president has made this type of commitment. We're making the investment the size of the Defense Department, because I truly believe that education is our national defense. Because in our schools throughout this country are our next generation of engineers, explorers, scientists. There could be a kindergartner in going into school in the fall that may 30 years from now cure a disease we don't even know what it even is now. That's why education is so important. That's why we need to put so much emphasis on education. But again, thank you very much. Again, appreciate everybody for being here this morning. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America, and may He protect our troops. Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.